Justice Act 2015 and caused the release of Kanu from detention and discontinue his trial. Well, they cited a precedent here. They recall that the president extended similar gesture to the office of the Attorney General in the charge involving Omoyele Sowore, wherein he was charged with treasonable felony. They also mentioned Sunday Igboho and so on. Well, when was that extended to Mr. Sunday Igboho?
I don't know. Maybe they know better, or it was not made public. But I don't know.
So that explains why Mr. Igboho is, I think, is in the country as we speak.
I'm not too sure. He came for the mom's
I know he came
burial.
for the burial of his mom, and then he was not harassed in any way by the security agencies.
And I think he has soft-pedaled with his agitation for Odua Nation. At least he was not violent before, but he was really, really vocal then.
So that's why we may want to.
I made some threats, but now it appears he's more silent. Maybe strategizing. And he quickly denied involvement in the invasion of the Oyo State Secretariat the other time by the pro-Odua Nation agitators, the ones in the camouflage and military khaki and uniform. Sunday Igboho quickly denied his involvement or knowledge of it. Well, if that has also been extended to Omoyele Sowore, I don't know. But when you look at the threat that these individuals or characters pose to the nation's security,
the degree of the threat by each
yes,
individual.
the degree is not the same. And one or two may have the capacity of mobilizing, and some could just be mere rhetoric and oral declaration, not being matched with forceful action.
So one has demonstrated perpetually the capacity to ground an entire region if he wants to.
So that's why I said the degree not the same. One poses a bigger threat to the region he is from and to the country at large.
And then his brother in Finland, and I wonder, we've not heard from him for some time now, and I wonder if he has also agreed not to make any more trouble.
Well, I think, whatever. Either he agrees, or he's been talked to, or he's hibernating or strategizing behind the scene for a more deadly attack, an atrocity on the people of that region and the nation as a whole. I don't know. I think that it behoves the government to do the needful. Sometimes it's not all cases that you go to the battlefield with the firearms and with exchange of gunfire before it's been settled. Some could have political solution, some could have consultations, and you just amicably settle things before it resort to violence or even altercation. You quickly nip it in the bud. And if certain things are festered to a particular degree, like a journey of no return, or where you have irreconcilable differences, you must settle it with the use of force sometimes, so that you tell the other man or the other party that the knot in his or her brain that is fast losing, you have the capacity to retie it and place it where it belongs. And if you see some people who are known for their recalcitrancy and they cannot be trusted when given leeway, opportunity, or some level of freedom, if you know they've exhibited that before, you may be wary of extending such olive branch to them again. You have to be careful, because if you do that, you could energize them to go mobilize more for a more deadly attack, because that appears to be their modus operandi and what they are set out to achieve. Well, having said that, I don't know what the federal government should do on this, but I think the government should be very, 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 very careful. Very, very careful. What should be utmost to them is ensuring that peace prevailed in the southeastern part of this country and in Nigeria as a whole. Peace in the southeast, peace in Nigeria as a whole. That should be what should be paramount in the hearts and mind of the federal government or the prosecutor, as we say. That the lawmakers spread across different regions of the country, well, but I went through the list. A sizable number of them are still from the southeastern part of the nation.
Expectedly.
Ahead is kingsmen. And it tells you that some could, out of sympathy perhaps, just want their kinsman released because it belongs to them or their tribe, without also looking at the implications of the release.
You know, Sean, home has been hot for quite a number of them for some time now.
Okay.
So, of course, maybe for them to be able to have a comfortable
peace.
welcome home when many of them have not been able to go home.
For the fear of the hyper guys. Okay. Well, some are, let's say the truth, some are sympathizers to the cause. Some could even be the fundraisers and the supporters. And they just feel that they could use Nnamdi Kanu as the one to as the, what do you call them?
I have my doubts, you.
Those
people
to
who
front.
are in their comfort zones.
They could just use him to front for that cause. So there are possibilities, and I think federal government should be very, very careful. Do the needful, but don't be fooled into making hasty decision that could be at the detriment of the nation.
Under commercial
Not only prosecute, you may not go back to that.
Is this a mistake? What? What's that? What happened? See, I just bought 1,000 naira glow data, and instead of the usual, I got 3.9 gigabytes. Guy, I swear, that's how I saw it too. I bought 2,000 naira data yesterday, and I got a whopping 9.2 gigabytes. Wow! Glow data is just always bigger. Yep, and always better. I swear down. Babe, why are you removing your SIM?
I'm leaving this network and getting a Glow SIM immediately. And I'm not giving you my new number. You're on probation. Why didn't you tell me about these new Glow data plans?
Glow new data plans. Always bigger, always better. Babe, sorry now. Yes, get a Glow SIM card today and enjoy bigger, better data on the Glow network. Just dial *777# and choose your plan. And if you link your NIN to your Glow line, up to free 20,000 naira bonus awaits you.
Glow Unlimited.
Drink that, don't go for it. Life na highway, me I just stay for my lane. Full speed ahead, oh, no limit in my way. That don't make them my back, nourishment to give me spark. So I go shine my shine and I will go for it. No limits, go for it. Drink that, don't go for it.
Conversation.
That's why back on the program is still conversation. Right, more headlines. Retired Army General killed in Abuja. Commissioner of Police orders probe. And we also have bandits kidnap Catholic priest in Zamfara.
Who is safe in this country?
No one.
A retired army general. A general, retired one in the army. Killed like that, like a chicken.
Well, I think they were armed robbers, they said, attacked this home. The Federal Capital Territory FCT Commissioner of Police, Bennett Igwe, has ordered immediate inquiry into the murder of Brigadier General Uwem Harold Udokwere. Udokwere was killed by gunmen suspected to be armed robbers who attacked his residence at Sunshine Homes Estate in Abuja around 3 a.m. on Saturday. In a statement, the FCT Police Public Relations Officer, PPRO Josephine Ade, said, in response to the tragic and unprecedented attack at Sunshine Homes Estate by armed robbers, resulting in the untimely demise of one Brigadier General Uwem Harold Udokwere, retired on June 22 at approximately 3 a.m. The Commissioner of Police, FCT, CP Bennett C. Igwe, has promptly ordered a thorough and discreet investigation into the circumstances surrounding this regrettable event. But I thought people who retire at that rank in the military usually have armed guards from the army.
Ideally.
So, I don't know. Where were they?
I don't know. Well,
I mean, if you...
It could be more than armed robbery. A proper investigation is required. And we don't even hear of exchange of gun fire.
Well, they stormed this house and
or attempt to resist the attackers.
They demanded for jewelry, they demanded for mobile phones and all that. I think they got what they came for, but they still shot the man.
They killed him like a fowl. It's unfortunate. A retired army general.
And we've had a lull in this Union Sachs in Abuja for a while, but now it seems as if with the killing of the general now, seems to be resurfacing.
That's why I said proper investigation is required. As the Commissioner of Police has rightly said, they must investigate properly and deal with the culprits. Yes. But that doesn't mean that all is well. You could have a lull of some of these nefarious, criminal, and activity that borders on insecurity. It doesn't mean it is Uhuru yet. We still have issue of kidnapping in different places. The bandits are still on rampage in some parts of the country. Just that the poverty and the hunger that has enveloped this country could have also resulted in that lull. You understand? People are so hungry. And they know that the purchasing power, not even when you kidnap, it's like they've been kidnapping anybody at sight or on sight. But now they know when they kidnap, there is nothing to get from people who are also struggling. And they don't have access to those who are in a position of authority as such. But let the government, again, do the needful. Protect all Nigerians and the residents of this country. That's your primary responsibility.
Now, Sean, the lingering issue of a dichotomy between HND and degree holders. Sometimes ago, it looked as if this matter was about to be addressed in legislative and government circles to favor the HND holders.
Hypocrisy.
But then, what I'm seeing here looks as if it's not yet Uhuru for
They've
the HND
been talking
holders.
with both sides of their mouth. They appear sometimes as if they are sympathetic to the pains and discrimination against the HND holders. But implement, put proper legislation and execution of what you've legislated upon. You don't see the legislation, you don't see the implementation or execution. So it appears to be lip service.
Well, now it looks like there's a new scheme of service for HND holders, but which the Association, Academic Staff Union of University, Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics is not happy with. It says ASUP kicks as federal government releases new scheme of service for HND holders. Let's see what that's all about. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has expressed displeasure over the recently released scheme of service for holders of higher national diploma HND certificates in the government service, saying the new document further undermines polytechnic education and also promotes the age-long disparity and discrimination against its products, against those of the universities. The federal government, through the National Board for Technical Education (NBT), recently issued a white paper entitled Scheme of Service for Polytechnics, signed by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Fola Shade Yemieson, a copy of which was sent to ASUP through NBTE. ASUP contended that the document contains many discrepancies and contentious issues that its members, as major stakeholders in the polytechnic education, are not happy with, and therefore demanded stoppage of its implementation. Well, in a statement signed by its national president, Shama Panja, the union emphasized that the new document grossly undermines Nigeria's polytechnic education status, promotes disparity and discrimination against HND holders, and also negatively distorts the established career structures and progression guidelines in the subsector. Well, ASUP is creating the impression here that things are now even worse than it was before.
Yes, adding fuel to fire, making the issue more complex and perhaps the pain more excruciating. And in a way, mortgaging the future. You talk of progression, you talk of the bar. that they attain. They don't hold on to administrative positions. And you make them inferior to their university counterparts or the ones with a degree, first degree, second degree. They could also have second degree, but for the first degree, if it's HND, from all ramifications and by your own assessment and the structures on ground, you made them look inferior. What those in the university got in terms of training and teachings were superior to what the polytechnic graduates got.
And the degree holder you trained at some point in time becomes your boss because you have a bar.
You have a bar, yes. And when they go onto the field, in practical terms, it seems to have that edge, even over the university graduates. Some are just meant based on theory. The other could have both theory and practical knowledge.
Well, that's where polytechnics are actually polytechnics.
They have the practical knowledge.
Yeah,
okay, you can practicalize and practice whatever they learn, but you have more of theory and what do you call it? What's it called? You have more of theory and formula in the other side. Come and practicalize what you've learned in school.
You know, Sho, what we are discussing this morning brings back my memory when I was in NYSC camp for the orientation course, and there was this young man. He was, I think, he was from Benin. He was from a polytechnic in Benin, electrical and electronics engineering. That was his discipline. So the bulb in our room, the switch had a problem. The light was perpetually on. We could not switch it off. Okay, we now said, okay, over to you now. Maybe this is what you did. The guy could not fix it. He was giving all sorts of excuses.
From where?
As to why.
The university or polytechnic?
Polytechnic.
Okay.
And he was giving all sorts of excuses as to why he could not fix. And all of us were wondering that, okay, maybe there is something we should do that we do not know. So what you are saying about them having the edge will be, I guess it will mean the sense, like I said, if polytechnics were really polytechnics, well, up till now, maybe somebody can tell me this morning why that young man could not fix that switch.
That one was a bad example, very bad one. Maybe he didn't go through the usual training. He got the certificate through the back door, or he just maneuvered his way out of the polytechnic. I want to believe that the polytechnics, the notable ones in Edo State, at least they are good ones. They are good ones. So I wonder, well, maybe the thing was a sleep was. I wonder. But you see, it's not peculiar to polytechnic students or graduates. I think you have more of such disheartening experience with university graduates, especially the ones that have to do with technical, mechanical, and other things that has to do with practicalization of what they've practiced. We are not talking about law or nursing or the ones in the medical line now, but the one that has to do with engineering, this, that, where you handle tools. It appears they are more equipped with the theory than the practical. But having said that, in terms of teachings, learning, you may not really differentiate or say one is superior to the other. The superiority comes through ego and in the minds of those who have the degree, the university degree. Even the ones who graduated from mushroom universities believe they are superior to those who graduated from polytechnics that have been in the existence for ages, and where you have thorough qualitative education, both theoretical and practical. So it's unfortunate, but that is what the system encourages.
You know, sure, I think to buttress your point, I think it's more about our penchant, our love for paper qualification as against competence. Even among the university graduates, you see the one who has a master's degree, who has gone on to acquire a PhD, blah, 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 would have an edge, regardless of whether he can actually defend those degrees or not, whether he can actually defend those SEDA certificates or not, as against the one who has demonstrated a very high level of competence on the job. So it's always like that.
So what do you reward? Is it competence or just paper or sugar-coated statements that takes us nowhere, because some are good at giving tell them to come and deliver lecture. Yes, they will give you all the tell you how it is will be done, but tell them to just do it. No action again.
I don't sure you see the rush to acquire all those extra certificates on the job because everyone believes that is what will give me an edge over my colleague, and that's actually the way it goes in many cases. And you now find out that in many establishments, the one maybe who has just that first degree, maybe due to one reason or the other, maybe due to paucity of funds, cannot proceed further. You find out that in many cases, you find out that many at times they turn out to be the most competent and they end up doing all the work. The one who has, I'm not saying it's always like that, but quite a number of times you find such situations where they end up doing all the work that requires thinking, that requires competence, that requires intelligence.
Well, a nation must define the path and the route that it wants to take to prosperity and development. If you want to base it on rhetorics and theory without competence, practicalization of what has been learned in school that could give positive result and change the narrative for good, well, it's left to you. If you want to reward rhetorics than competence based on practicalization, it's left to you. Let the dichotomy and discrimination continues. It depends on what you want. And I think if we are to go by this dichotomy, maybe the polytechnic education has outlived its relevance. If it's not going to be rewarded as it should be, maybe you have to just scrap the polytechnic institution, education as a whole. Some were innocently in the polytechnics, thinking they never thought of any discrimination. They were looking at, the school that could guarantee or give them the proper training when it comes to their field of study. That was the reason why they went to certain polytechnics. I didn't mean they knew from the onset that they would have a bar when they get into the civil service, or they would be discriminated against. They wouldn't have ventured into such journey. So if you cannot reward them, or you feel they are inferior, despite spending several years in the polytechnic, some of them will go for industrial attachment. Not only that they go for the theoretical whatever, they practicalize and get all the necessary experience. But still you don't reward that. Let's kukuma cancel it and let all the polytechnics be transformed into universities, where you have even colleges of education now getting degree. But for polytechnics, a no. Let's just merge everything, cancel one, and let's move on that way.
So this commercial break.
To our destination.
After this commercial break, we'll be back.
Woke up this morning, a brand new day. Feeling is different, though you are ahead of your game. Fill up with energy, strength and vitality. Get ready to conquer. Cause Bonvita is there with you.
Give your child Bonvita. It contains essential vitamins and minerals that support mental and physical vitality. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Conversation. Conversation. Conversation.
All right, we are back, and the program is still conversation. All right, time to open the phone lines, and we'll take more headlines in between. The number to call to be part of conversation is 080 5500 9850. 080 5500 9850.
I know you are aware already that the President of the nation, President Bola Tinubu, has ordered the sanctioning of civil servants drawing salaries after relocating abroad. And we have many of them. So many of them. They will tell you they are going on leave, but they don't japa. Some will tell you they want sick leave or whatever, or they have a program they want to attend quickly. Okay, but they are elsewhere in another clime, enjoying themselves and getting salaries from the government. All that must be checked. I don't believe we've introduced technology into everything. We could have erased many of these problems. 0805 500 9850.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning to you.
Oh, do well to call us back. We can't hear you.
0805 500 9850. 0805 500 9850. That's the number to call to be part of conversation this morning. 0805 500 9850. Oh, we lost that call again. 121.67 trillion naira public debt. Set up inspection panel to hold World Bank to account. What did the World Bank? Set up inspection panel to hold World Bank to account based on 121.67 trillion naira public debt of Nigeria, not for another country. 0805 500 9850. 0805 500 9850. Hello, good morning to you.
Oh, well, there's a challenge with the phone lines this morning.
Hello.
Well,
again, we lost that call. 0805 500 9850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Toba. Good morning, session. I'm Judy. I'm calling from Kola.
good morning.
And now, we have so many issues in this country which our leaders are supposed to have addressed, but we pay lip service, as Mr. Chen has said, especially with the issue of HNEPS stuff. The two institutions, as how we copied it, are not the same. Everyone has its own functions and its specifics. But yeah, we just conjure everything together. We do everything as if, and we don't. One thing is, if something has been wrong over the years, there are some states you go through that you correct it. But we are doing that thing as if that thing cannot be corrected, or that thing is difficult to do. Since all these days, we've been laying lip service to all these things. I went to both universities. Product of polytechnics can do well at universities, and product of universities too. Doesn't mean that when you get to university you cannot be good at practicals. But then everyone has its own specifics. It should start from how they get the admission. You see, there should not be some level of scores for polytechnic, and some level of scores for universities. If you pass, go to the universities. But I think they have the same amount of brain and same amount of intelligence. It's just that the system just made the polytechnic to be lower. When it's lower, the university guys who scored higher scores. For example, now someone scored 280, 300 in JAM, and he got admitted to mechanical engineering department also. And his counterpart scored 180, and they took him to the polytechnic. The person at that will be feeling superior now. But it doesn't mean it's more brilliant or it's more competent than you. But in this part of the world, even the lecturers and the polytechnic are more, they don't upgrade themselves. They don't, that kind of a thing. I'm not talking about other departments in polytechnics, so like mass communication and accounting. No, I'm talking about the engineering departments there. So I think the federal government should know how to handle these things and do these things properly. These things are two different things. If they want to scrap the polytechnic, let them scrap it. If they don't want to scrap it, let them know what to do, so that we will not be talking about this thing every day. Then on that, I think the Niger State governor, I don't think he's the right person to call for probe. I think it's the federal government that gave out the money that should call for probe. But one thing is, what is that even 90 billion meant for, Kankan? Is it for feeding? Is it for what? They must be specific. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. 0805 500 9850. 0805 500 9850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Eletiofe.
Good to have you, Mr. Iwerem.
On corruption. Can corruption something in Nigeria? So corrupt everywhere. Indian government, federal government. Corruption is the packaging. When they want to come for a contract, 10 naira will do 20 naira. They say they're doing work. That's corruption. And now, in Southeast, 99% say they're reducing. 1% is not reducing. They know what they want. Give them what they want. That will make that eat. If you say so, where go to the Eastern region, Northern region, Western region, we need to have a balanced government. When there's no balanced government, they will complain. Thank you much.
Yeah, thank you.
0805 500 9850. 0805 500 9850. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How was the weekend?
Beautiful, thank you.
John calling from Ibadan.
Okay, good to have you, Mr. John from Ibadan.
The civil servants, they have jackpot and they are still collecting salary. Did you see how greedy human being is? You are collecting money on what he did not work for. We will blame the government. The government come inside us. We are the one that bring out those that are leading us. So who are we? We don't have conscience. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. John from Ibadan. We have another John now.
Yes, I agree with him totally. Greed, lack of conscience. When you are in a more advanced society with more rewarding jobs and more income, you still want to grab the peanut and the little one that we are struggling with here in Nigeria, that the government is even finding it difficult to pay. Why?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ojo Michael calling from Molome Kingdom.
To have you, Mr. Ojo Michael.
Yes, thank you. God bless you. Yes, I want to comment on the issue of Mass Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, it is true. His case is quite different from that of Chief Sunday Adeyemo Sunday and that of Omoyele Sowore. But my own opinion, which I attach to, the man should be freed. He should be free. Yes. Why are we prolonging the issue? Should be free. Yes. Secondly, on the dichotomy between the HAD and BSc holders, if they want to scrap holders, I think they should scrap it. After all, the teacher training is no more in existence. So if they want to scrap it, scrap it. God bless you. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, thank
God bless you too. 0805 500 9850. 0805 500 9850. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tola and Mr. Joseph. Keep up the good works. Concerning the Nnamdi Kanu and all that, now you see, Nnamdi Kanu is not seen to have committed any crime. So at one time, the charges people against him were caught. So, and at one time, the federal government released Sowore and others, and they declare amnesty for everyone. So, and you see, on security, the federal government needs Nnamdi. We need peace. So even governors who don't want Kanu to be released, so they should release him. And concerning the charge occurring, so the life is involved. So they need to look around it and see what could be done, and we need information. And on the education. So you see, some people, some graduates, they have skills. Some people do not have. you see some graduates do not have skills. And see, at one time, we did well on construction, communication, that is, we have skills. On agriculture, we did well. So we have contributed to development and others. So skills and others are required. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kola. Oh, blessing coming Nigeria's way. Federal government engages private sector to meet $2.2 billion annual further meat soybeans export to Saudi Arabia. There's a demand from the Saudi authorities for us to get them alfalfa A, the red meal, the soya bean meal that is worth 2.2 billion naira annually. Maybe they approach the wrong. The capacity to even feed ourselves. we have not achieved.
Well,
that.
you know we do reserve that capacity. It's just that for reasons which are obvious is why we've not been able to walk the talk show. You took that right out of my mouth, Sean, but I hope we will be able to satisfy.
This one our money, $2.2 billion annually.
They know we have the capacity. That's why they are looking to us. But now it's up to us.
And the cattle straying, invading farms,
it's up to us.
Innocent farmers and people destroying everywhere. This is good business. Unfortunately, Miyetiala has rejected the animal husbandry bill that is being proposed or worked on rather in the National Assembly. They said no, they only want Ministry of Livestock. Maybe headed by Fulani or Fulani man or X-Men.
That will still give them the license to be invading people's farms at will.
We have Ministry of Agriculture. That is not enough. They want a particular ministry to themselves.
Ministry of
X-Men. Understand emphasis. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Baba.
Good morning, Chaba and Shion.
Good morning.
May the peace of the Lord be with both of you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Adedado from Okeo.
Good to have you, sir.
One, on the ghost workers, it's alleged that some Nigerians who relocate to foreign countries are still drawing salaries from this country. Two, on the issue of snake garden shrine, where illicit drugs are kept, I shall continue to speak and shout at the top of my voice that righteousness and righteousness only will make Nigeria grow and become great. Monkeys, slaves, swallowing money in Nigeria, people commit crimes in Nigeria and put blame on animals. It's not new anyway. It only shows that they are the descendants of Adam and Eve. They committed the evil of disobedience in the Garden of Eden, and they try to see the blame on someone else or something else. I mean, they put the blame on the snake. So they are true descendants of Adam and Eve. Anyway, Adam was challenged for his disobedience in eating the forbidden fruit. He put the blame on Eve. Eve also put the blame on snake, but eventually all of them were judged. So no sinner will go unpunished. I'm shouting at the top of my voice, righteousness, righteousness, and righteousness only will make Nigeria great. All those who are criminals in one way or the other, no matter their level, they will be made to face in music by the divine power. Thank you, Adidado from Okay. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. We have to go on the show today.
Yes, we have to go, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
I remain yours faithfully, Sheon Oyelowo. Up next is a sponsored religious program titled Imisi Owura Ojo Aje. Let's enjoy it.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ìmísí òwúrọ̀ ọjọ́ ajé èyí tó ń dé sí etí bọ̀yìn láti ilé iṣẹ́ ìṣọ̀kan ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi United Christians Evangelistic Ministry UNICEM ẹ̀ka ìyìnrere tìjọ apostoli ti Kristi lágbàáyé. Ètò yìí yóò máa wáyé lọ́jọ́ mẹ́jọ ní dédé àsìkò ìkan náà lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ní báyìí a ó pe ìránṣẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ náà ajínrere Gideon Olúṣèyí Adéyẹlé láti wá jíṣẹ́ tòní fún wa lórí ìmísí òwúrọ̀ ọjọ́ ajé.
Ògo ni fún Ọlọ́run lókè ọ̀run àti ilé ayé àlàáfíà. Ìfẹ́ inú rere Ọlọ́run sí ẹ̀yin ènìyàn rẹ̀. Mo fi ayọ̀ tọ̀ yín wá lónìí pẹ̀lú ìrere ayọ̀ tí mo mú tọ̀ yín wá. Mo tún dá padà sínú ìwé Jóòbù tí a kà ní ìjẹ́jọ ní orí ìkẹjọ ẹsẹ̀ ìkeje rẹ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí. Ìwé Jóòbù orí ìkẹjọ ẹsẹ̀ ìkeje tó kà báyìí pé ìpilẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rẹ̀ ìbá àtilẹ̀ kéré rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìgbẹ̀yìn rẹ̀ ìbá pọ̀ sí i gidigidi. Ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọlọ́gbọ́n leléyìí o, ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó ti kóre jọ, ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní wẹ́rẹ́ tí wọ́n sì ti di ńlá, àwọn ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí pẹ̀lú Jóòbù. Jóòbù lọ́rẹ̀ tó pọ̀ mẹ́ta náà péré ni wọ́n, òun náà ní kẹrin. Wọ́n jọ máa ń gbìmọ̀ ni, wọ́n jọ ń ṣe ayé ni, wọ́n jọ ń ṣàkóso ayé ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Ọlọ́run jọ fi ire lé wọn lọ́wọ́ ni. Wọ́n wá ránra wọn létí báwọn ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ níje lò ó. Ìyẹn àyànfẹ́ torí àkókò wa ẹ jẹ́ fún wa nímọ̀ràn bíi mẹ́ta mo mọ̀ pé yóò ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́. Ìkíní, sórí bó ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ wẹ́rẹ́ yẹn, nọ́mbà 1 tó mo fi fún ọ nímọ̀ràn ni pé kọ́kọ́ gborí rẹ̀ pamọ́ náà. Má tí ì ṣe bùgàbùgà. Oko rẹ̀ ò tí ì tó máa halẹ̀ mọ́ pé ibi tá a bóko dé yìí, ibi tá a bá iṣẹ́ òkòwò dé yìí ibo ló bá dé. Ibi táwọn kan ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó ju ibi tí wọ́n lóòpó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí lọ. Má tí ì jáde, mo ti dé o. We are here. Yes. Wọ́n gbà kí ni wọ́n gbà tí olùkọ́kọ́ dáre ṣe láyé ni. Olùjẹ́ lọ jókòó ara ẹ̀ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ kó má jẹ́ káyé dá ọ níbù, káyé má bàa dá ọ légbodò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọ̀rọ̀ pé mo ti dàtú bí ọkọ ni mo wí o, mi ò sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dá titun sọ́ra rẹ o. Torí pé òótọ́ lọ́run ti ló kó dáwọ́lé yìí, o ti ń jèrè kọ́bọ̀kọ́bọ̀, o ti wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fánu kiri gbogbo àdúgbò, o ń fọ́ni gbogbo ìgbèríko yín. Kò sẹ́ni tí o ti mọ̀ pé o máa ń ra kòkó báyìí kí èlò ló fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ gan-an. O jẹ́ sọ́ra rẹ. Èkejì, máì tí ì tiwọ́ fẹ́fẹ́ yẹ̀yẹ̀ bọ èrè tó ń jẹ yẹn. Bóòlù Ọlọ́run ṣe gbà wá Yorùbá nínú ohun tí mo dáwọ́lé yìí báyìí. Àfikún Ọlọ́run ó gbà wá o. Àti ìní jèrè tó sinmi lé tí wọ́n á máa fi aṣọ òkú ìyá àgbà tí wọn ò tí ì bí ọ nígbà tí ìyá bàbá wọn ti kú. Wọ́n sì fẹ́ kó wá níbi tí wọ́n ti ń raṣọ, wọ́n raṣọ ní 750, wọ́n dẹ̀ wá gbé fún Yankara ní 3,750. Ó túmọ̀ sí pé wọ́n ti forí rẹ̀ gba pààrọ̀, wọ́n jèrè 3,000 mọ́ ọ lára. Ó wà máa sọ pé ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ ọjà tí mo rí tà ní weekend tó kọjá. Ó dìgbà tó bá ṣe ayẹyẹ tán kó o tó mọ̀ pé o ti ná owó ọjà rẹ̀. Máì tí ì tiwọ́ ayẹyẹ ọwọ́ ààrẹ mi ṣe, ọwọ́ èèyàn náà ló ń bá ní í ṣe. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni náà ò bá dẹ̀ bá wọn ṣe báyìí. Nígbò bá dìgbà tèmi, kó tó dìgbà tiẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ó ti pààrọ̀ orú wọn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn tí ó máa fún ọlọ́rẹ̀ lọ Ọlọ́run ó sọ kókó di ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ. Àwọn tó ń jí ọ lóní lónìí sọ́ra rẹ. Yẹ tó rán létí nǹkan méjì tí mo ti bá ọ sọ. Number 1, má tí ì fira rẹ hàn. Má tí ì sọ pé o ti dé báyìí. O ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ríṣẹ́ ní láàrin ọdún méje sì forí rẹ pamọ́. Ẹ̀yin òbí mi ẹ má tí ì máa sọ fún ẹ àbúrò rẹ kìíní ọmọ ìyá bàbá mi ni ìgbà tó sì ṣe àwọn náà dáná níbi òkú wa, àwọn náà dáná bí oyè wa. Ìtorí náà ìwọ ọmọ mi mo fẹ́ kó wálé báyìí kó wá yẹ mi má tí ì jẹ́ kó yẹ ọ́. Wọ́n pa náà yìí. Iná tó yọ̀ ní lórí ìmọ́lẹ̀ wọn lù pa. Yóò kú wọ́n nìkan ó máa dára rẹ lẹ́bi. Ẹ̀kẹta rèé o, mo ti sọ fún ọ má tí ì sọ pé wọ́n rèé. Èkejì, mo ti kìlọ̀ fún ọ má ti wọ ìnáwó tí ò ní lérè nú. Má tí ì tiwọ́ rẹ̀ bọ inú èrè tá sọ́rẹ́ tó o sì rí kójọ báyìí. Sọ́dì òdìdí ná. Ẹ̀kẹta ìmọ̀ràn mi kẹta ni pé jẹ́ ó di ńlá tán. Kí mo pè é o? Jẹ́ ó di ńlá tán. Kí ni ó di ńlá tán? Jẹ́ kọ́mọ rẹ̀ di ńlá tán kó o tó jẹ́ káyé mọ̀. Kí ni ó di ńlá tán? Jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ di ńlá tán kó o tó jẹ́ káyé sọ pé nǹkan báyìí ló ń ṣe. Kí ni ó di ńlá tán? Jẹ́ kí okòwò rẹ̀ di ńlá tán kó o tó mọ́rẹ̀ rẹ̀ lọ bẹ̀. Nítorí pé wọ́n rí i pé o ti ń pààrọ̀ aṣọ báyìí tí ò sì ti yẹ kó o pààrọ̀. Torí o ti sọ pé ibi téèyàn bá ti ń ṣe náà lèèyàn ti ń jẹ Ọlọ́run ni ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjà, ó ti ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjà láàrin oṣù mẹ́ta o ti ra oríṣi aṣọ 4. Nǹkan ń ṣe ọ ni. Kí ló dé bá wa Yorùbá gan pàápàá báyìí? Lẹ́nu oṣù mẹ́ta tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ òwò yàtọ̀ sáwọn aṣọ tó ti nílẹ̀ lé o ti ra aṣọ oríṣi 4. O wá lágbàná wọ bí iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ó yẹ ká gbà náà gan kọ́ńgì pé mo dúró sí tèmi rẹ ti ríra tí mo kó bá ọ kágbà náà wá máa sọ ohun tó ti fi wàdùwàdù ara ṣe kó wá bá ti jù lọ ṣe ló yẹ kí gbèsè kó yọ̀ pátì ọ́ bí gbèsè tó ti ń nà nípa tiẹ̀ kí àgbà náà kánàgbà náà kó máa ṣá ọ lọ́rẹ́ pé ìwọ oníjẹkújẹ yìí ohun tí mò ń wí rèé o lóòótọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kékeré ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run sọ fún ọ pé òun ó sọ di ńlá ọmọ rẹ ó di ńlá oko rẹ ó di ńlá wàhálà rẹ yóò kójọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni okòwò rẹ ò ní run mọ́ ọ lórí àṣẹ ọ̀run ni mo fi súre fún ọ lóòrọ̀ yìí ó rí bá ti ṣe ó rọ́nà gbégbà yóò dáa fún ọ ọkàn rẹ ò ní dìbàjẹ́ mọ́ ọkàn rẹ ó balẹ̀ hílàhílò yóò tán ogun ológun ò ní borí rẹ àrùn alárò ò ní rí ọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn Eletiofe òkùnkùn ò ní gbọ́rọ̀ rẹ láé tó o bá lè fi ara rẹ pamọ́ sábẹ́ òjìji Olódùmarè máa bọ̀ nínú Jésù Olúwa ibẹ̀ gan ni ìpamọ́ tó dára jùlọ wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni that is your final security bẹ́ẹ̀ ni that is your final guarantee trust ó ní bí ìkókò tó lè gbẹ́kẹ̀lé nínú Jésù Olúwa yóò lé ọ̀tá rẹ sẹ́yìn ó gbáyé rẹ re ìgbà rẹ ó sì dá ọkàn rẹ ó balẹ̀ Jésù Olúwa wa àmín. Ọlọ́run alágbára mo fi àwọn ènìyàn mi lé ọ lọ́wọ́ láàárọ̀ yìí ló bá ń gbàdúrà fún wọn wọ́n tún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́sẹ̀ yìí o ẹ̀ ní bọ́ sí kòtò ẹ̀ ní ṣiṣẹ́ gbé ẹ̀ ní bọ́ sọ́wọ́ ayé ogun ayé ò ní borí àwọn tó ń sọ yín pé àwọn ò mú yín lọ́sẹ̀ yìí wọ́n mọ̀fo lórí yín ni a ó yìn lọ́run lógo ẹ̀yin náà wà gbégbá ọpẹ́ ní orúkọ Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa àmín.
a gbàgbọ́ wípé Ọlọ́run ti fọwọ́ tọ́ ọkàn yín láti inú ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run tẹ́ gbọ́ tán yìí tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ bá ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ní gbólóhùn tàbí ẹ̀bẹ̀ àdúrà ẹ lè pò wọ́n sórí 07052269916 lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ pè sórí 07052269916 tàbí kẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ̀ka ìrere ìjọ Àpọ́stélì ti Kristi tó bá súnmọ́ yín èyàn ní Àpọ́stélì ti Kristi lágbàáyé Ọ̀yọ́ State Nigeria lágbára Ọlọ́run a tún pàdé lórí ètò yìí ìmísí òwúrọ̀ ọjọ́ ajé lọ́jọ́ mẹ́jọ lákòókò kan náà.
98.5 FM, Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM, 98.5 FM.
Beautiful morning to you, and thanks for joining us on the abridged version of Spotted Beat this lovely Monday morning. My name is Boluwaji Ogumala. I'm absolutely excited to be here on day number 24 in the month of June 2024. Of course, all set to bring you up to speed with happenings in the world of sports, especially top stories from the weekend. It was a weekend of activities from the world of football to tennis to athletics to Formula One, European football, and of course Copa American football as well. And trust me, this morning to do justice to all of that and many more. Without further ado, let's just the ground running this morning. My name is Boluwaji Ogumala. In the MPFL, Remo Stars and Enyimba will play on the continent next season after finishing in second and third positions respectively. Remo Stars claimed the second position on the log after defeating Katsina United 2-1 in Ikene, Ogun State. Then the Ogumade side secured a place in the Champions League following that particular win. Sadiq Ismail and Dayo got goals for the host, while Michael Iwe was on target for Katsina United. Last season's champions as Enyimba stopped Plateau United 2-0 at home to finish third with 63 points. Chijoke Umbama and Alade Abalogo were on target for the Aba Giants. They will feature in the second tier as the CAF Confederations Cup, which means Shooting Stars will not be playing on the continent come next season. Of course, at the Lakers Stadium yesterday, Shooting Stars of Ibadan ended the 2023-2024 season on a victorious note after beating hard-fighting Sporting Lagos 1-0 in the match 38 encounter, watched by a very large crowd, including the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Sheyi Makinde. Saw the Olele Warriors got the only goal of the game 8 minutes to the end of the first half. A true Christian Piagbara, the prolific striker, was right on hand to connect home across from right back, talking about
Eletiofe to give Shooting Stars the lead into the break. It was his 10th goal of the season. The second half witnessed no goal as the homers tried to increase their tally, while the visitors also put up a spirited effort to find the leveler, but neither of the two could hit the target till referee Grema Mohammed from Borno blew the final whistle. Although the win was not enough for Shooting Stars to sort their continental ticket after they having finished fourth on the log with 62 points, just a single point short of third place Enyimba Football Club of Aba, who finished with 64 points. After beating Plateau United 2 goals to nothing. Well, His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde was on hand, of course, to cheer and encourage the boys to victory yesterday. And if you ask me, not a bad season for Shooting Stars. After 38 league games, they finished with 62 points. 18 wins they had, 8 draws they recorded, and so far 12 defeats. Let me break it down for you. At home for Shooting Stars, Shooting Stars won 16 games at Lake Salami Stadium, drew 2 games and lost just once at home this season. Away from home, they won 2 games away from home this season. They drew 6 games away from home and lost 11 games away from home. And one boy, who caught their attention yesterday was Adelowo Bolagade, who played 38 games for Shooting Stars this recently concluded league season. 38 games, which means he played each and every game for Shooting Stars this season. 38 games in the league, and of course he was actually handed Shooting Stars best player of the season, and it was an emotional moment after the game. The mother of Bolagade Adlo was there on the pitch to celebrate with the son, and of course to pray for him as well. I mean, from that, he played 38 games in the league for Shooting Stars. He scored 2 goals, made 2 assists, and had 3 yellow cards to emerge the best player for Shooting Stars in the recently concluded season. Alright, not a bad one for Shooting Stars, I must say. I trust the team that next season will even be better than this. And that was one of the things that the governor told the boys yesterday. Trust them, and preparations for the next season start immediately. Congratulations to Shooting Stars. Congratulations to the fans, to the management, to the players, and of course to the government for doing the needful and helping the team achieve this height. This is the best position they finished in about 25 years or thereabouts. Yes, as for Shooting Stars there. Alright, let's move to the relegation waters and see how it all ended yesterday. Sporting Lagos and Doma United got relegated from the NPFL yesterday. The 2 clubs suffered defeats on final day. Well, Sporting Lagos on their own part fell to Shooting Stars 1-0 in Ibadan, and of course that condemned them to relegation just 11 months after getting promotion to the NPFL. Doma United, also newcomers as well, were also relegated after a 1-0 draw at home against Abia Warriors. Sporting Lagos, they thus finished 17th on the log with 46 points from 38 matches, while Doma United finished 18th on the log with 44 points. Academy Warriors and Gombe United were relegated from the NPFL. And those who escaped relegation, escaped the drop yesterday, Akwa United and Bayelsa United, they secured their place in the top spot. They escaped relegation yesterday on the final day, on the back of their final day win. For Akwa United, they defeated Rivers United 3 goals to 1. Bayelsa United went away from home to defeat Bendel Insurance 2 goals to 0. Let's take a look at all the results from yesterday's match day 38. Gombe United lost at home to Rangers International, to champions Rangers International, who of course were crowned officially yesterday, who received the trophy yesterday after the Gombe United game, and also were handed their check of 150 million naira for winning the league. Bayelsa United went away from home. They went to Benin City to win against Benin Insurance 2 goals to 0, and that victory was enough to make them escape relegation. Shooting Stars vs Sporting Lagos 1-0. Akwa United were 3 goals to 1 better than Rivers United, and that win was enough to save Akwa United. Doma United Heartland Abiyawa played 1-0. Remo Stars 2-1 over Katsina United. Nigeria Tornadoes defeated Sunshine Stars 2-1. Kwara United trashed Heartland FC 4-0. Kano Pillars were 3-2 better than Lobby Stars. Aimba defeated Plateau United 2-0. Let's take a look at the final table this morning. Rangers International finished after 38 points. They finished with 70 points after 38 games. Remo Stars finished second with 65 points after 38 games. That's 5 points adrift to the champions. Aimba finished third with 63 points. Shooting Stars finished fourth with 62 points. That was 1 point adrift to Aimba. Plateau United finished fifth with 58 points. Lobby Stars are sixth with 58 points as well. But of course, an inferior goal difference of +3 to Plateau United +13. Seventh position is where we had Katsina United with 55 points. Rivers United 53 points. Better Insurance with 53 points as well. Sunshine Star with 52 points. Kano Pillars with 51 points. Abiyawa 12th with 52 points. Kwara United 13 with 51 points. Same as Nigeria Tornadoes 14 with 51 points as well. Basa United with 50 points. Finished with 15 positions. 16 positions we had 49 points. Kwara United and relegation waters. Those who actually went back. Talking about Sporting Lagos 17th rather. Doma United 18th. Heartland 19th. And Goma United 20th position with 25 points. That's how it ended as far as the MPFL 2023-2024 season is concerned. And aiming back forward, Chijioke Mbama claimed the top scorer award in the MPFL season. 21-year-old, according to the age that we got. Yeah. That's been very controversial. And he finished with 17 goals, provided 2 assists in 34 matches for Aimba Football Club. Powerful striker, defeated Remo Stars, got better with Remo Stars, Sikiru Alimi to the individual accolade. Alimi finished the campaign with 15 goals. Mbama succeeds Aimba's Emeka Obioba, who was top scorer last season. Before we leave the MPFL review this morning, Victor Pune joins, and of course together we'll summarize how Shooting Stars season actually ended. Victor, good morning.
Well, it's the morning after, and I know quite a number of people are looking at what's happened. But hey, here we are talking about Shooting Stars that season. I know many of them did not expect that things would go this way, but then, I mean, start to the season, it looked like it was just all play when they were talking about going continental. But here we are talking about the beauty of being close to it. Yes. I mean, quite a lot of people are shaking up, and we have seen that we can actually get quality football, and everyone coordinating themselves, organizing, having a peaceful atmosphere right here in Ibadan. And it was something also. It meant something that the governor came all the way, to actually watch that final game, and it was beautiful scene. So I think we have to first of all appreciate the fans who kept turning out en masse, because it started with so many people being at the stadium, although there were 6 spaces, but they ensured that they got their friends to actually come through in there. And then, aside the fans, also we have to talk about the coaching crew, because the quality was on display. You could see that these guys knew what they wanted to do. We knew what they wanted to get at. And we must also give kudos to the players. They held on, despite the fact that at some moments the quality wasn't too evident, in some moments. But they were able to still pull through, show us beats, and it was very beautiful actually. And I think I would rate the season, out of the 10, I think I would give them a 8.5.
It's actually their best performance in 26 years. Going that far. I mean, at some point, no one thought this would happen. But what exactly did the management? Should I say management now? No, the Tenko crew. What do you think they did differently this time around?
Well, like I said, quality. Quality is the first back of call. When you have, someone who knows their onions, the coaching crew knew their onions. You had a man who's been well revered across the land. Who's been at Yinba, he's been at all the top clubs, and his top stints here. He already knew the club. He knew what they could do, and there might have been hiccups along the line, but they knew their onions. And look at the quality that we also got, from the others supporting him. A former goalkeeper who was also a part of one of the national teams. I was talking about Kola Ige as part of the goalkeeping department. We also had John Dosu also in there. One who has worked with many of the top goalkeepers in the NPFL. And then he also talked about the defensive coaches. Talk about Coach Ayo and the others. They held their own. We could see the quality. The fitness trainer also, you could see that the boys were fitter. They could move faster than what we have seen before. And across board, generally we had something good coming through. Even down to Ogumbate's son, who was an intern. Down to him also, you could see that technically they had input. I could see them. I went to a lot of training sessions, and I saw many of the times, they were correcting some mistakes right there on training. And along the line, the players started getting it right, and it started giving us results. So, it's quite a lot when you look at the coaching crew, and they identified that, okay, in this department, we need better players. We need players like this. And kudos to them for forgetting the likes. We were able to command the presence of players like Ayobami Jr., Christian Piagbara. And when you have players like that in your ranks, it only gets high.
Of course, and I love the remarks of the governor yesterday saying that, yes, the team is making considerable progress, and that's exactly what you want to hear at this point. And talking about making progress, I remember 3 weeks ago when Rangers were confirmed champions of the league. The following day, they got to the boardroom and they started preparing for the 2024-2025 season. And now the question is, where do we go from here? Ogumbote confirmed yesterday that his contract expires at the end of last night actually. Runs out. Is it last night or at the end of this month? And of course, we don't know what happens next. But what should the management be doing at this moment? Because preparations for next season must start immediately. When the champions are already preparing for next season, for a team that is also looking towards that top 3 finish next season, what should they be doing at this point as regards the technical crew and everything that has to do with the club?
Well, first off, I like to talk about projects. And Ogumbote has transitioned Shooting Stars from being that club that used to, struggle to play good football. That club that used to struggle to get results, even at home. That club that used to have too much pressure, when playing in front of the home fans. He knows what Shooting Stars is. And he has been able to drum it into those players. Now, what they need is, if they cannot convince him to stay, given that his contract is up, if they cannot convince him to stay, then get someone who has similar ideas. When you talk about projects, now we are at the face of the projects where we cannot afford to go and miss with the next step. You cannot afford to go and bring in someone who will now have to dismantle the whole squad, who now have to dismantle the whole mentality and start refreshing ideas and all of that. What they need is continuity. So if they're not going to be able to hold on to Gbenga Ogumbote, it's not completely in their hands right about now. He's one of the, I dare say, he's the most sought after coach in the league presently.
I have things work out, Victor. This time last season, there was this noise all over the place that you should go.
I would never be a part of that, because
about just 11-12 months ago, that's what the fans were saying. All of a sudden, fans want him to stay. That's what happens.
Maybe if results weren't coming, but I could see the identity the team was starting to get. I could see the profile, and when you talk about transition phases, you could spot some things. And this man is the most sought after. So knowing that is the most sought after.
Fans, they are not so that patient. What happened last season got a lot of them talking.
I've looked through the list. I've been having this headache for a couple of months now, because I've followed through on it. I've spoken with him a couple of times, and I know that when you have these issues around town, you have to ensure that you just stay calm and patient.
And that's one of the things that he did very well. He handled it very
well. He handled it all well. Despite all the shouts and the criticism, he handled it well. He knew it would come, because it comes with the horror. He's the oracle, so they would expect nothing less. And I think at this point they should already be looking at managers who fit in that similar kind of profile. They know the league, they can keep up the ante physically for the players, mentally for the players. They can also ensure that we have quality players coming through. There's a difference when you have a coach that cannot command this level of players to come through, because at some point in time, even the key players in your squad will leave because they feel like the profile
you need
is
that
not,
authority.
so you need
big profile
someone like that to be able to make sure that this. I mean, he was able to convince players who are playing abroad.
Yeah.
Come down home, come train with them.
We need such high-profile technical advisor. All right, I wish him all the best, but my takeaway from your thoughts is continuity, and it is actually key. Well, moving on the show this morning, we've got limited time on the show as usual, but of course it was important to spend a lot of time talking about Shooting Stars Sport of Viva, because they made us happy at the point. Let me inform that the 2024 President Federation Cup will now take place at the Momola Johnson Arena, Onikon in Lagos. The grand finale was billed to take place at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja to now hold this coming Sunday. Me informing that Rivers Angels and Nigeria Tools have booked their sports in the finals of this year's President Federation Cup finals. Well, moving straight to Cameroon, Douala to be precise, where Ese Brume, of course, over the weekend became the first long jumper, male or female, to win 4 titles in the history of the African Athletics Championship, extending her dominance on the continent to a decade since winning her maiden title back in 2014 in Marrakesh. Well, quite a lot going on in Douala, Cameroon. Off the track, on the track, a lot of stories, but time will let us dissect all of that. Talking about organizational troubles, athletes withdrawing from events due to poor administration and poor organization. We shouldn't be talking about that in Africa, in anything whatsoever. This is 2020.